might have thought that the DD2 Masters class was the one that was the least high profile. But we've had some fabulous racing from the DD2 Masters in all three heats, in the pre-final and in the final. Martin Victorson from Sweden was in third place at the end, not able to join us for the press conference, but we do have the world number 2, the former world champion Dennis Kroes, and we have the world champion for 2010, Scott Campbell. Let me start with you, Scott, and say 7 times a world finalist. Did you think this day would never come?
I hoped it would come one day, with the opportunity of the Rotax Masters class, I was really hoping that it would come out like this.
Just tell us a little bit about back home in Canada. Is there a strong Rotax scene generally, and specifically racing in this particular category? Do you have good competition?
Back home in the West where I'm from, there isn't a lot of competition, but at Nationals this year it was very, very stiff, and I ended up coming out with a 4th even at Nationals after a long weekend. But Canada's got some really, really good drivers through all the classes.
And if I can take you to the heats, those fabulous dices with the very unlucky Hamish Cross of New Zealand, I've lost count of how many times you passed and repassed. When that happens, do you just redouble your determination to get back in front, or do you think, oh, shouldn't have made that mistake? What's the mindset?
Yeah, there's definitely the drivers with Hamish and with Dennis. It's so tight, and you have to make sure that you make the right move at the right time, because if they don't, they'll make you pay for it. I slotted in the back of my memory, when to make the moves, when, and I made that move early and just tried to hold on to it the whole race.
Well, thanks, Scott. A worthy world champion. Has to be a shade disappointed. Been here before, world champion at this level, also European champion at this level. Dennis, it was a wonderful weekend's racing from you. It's a great achievement to be the world number 2, but does that leave you a little bit downbeat?
Yeah, it does. But Scott is a good racer. He deserves it at the moment. Till the last lap, I really thought I could win, could be the champion. But yeah, I could cry now. But no, yeah, I like that moment. I really like. Yeah, maybe next time.
I was just going to say, next time, you're going to keep racing Rotax, you're going to keep turning in these fabulous performances, because I'm going to say to you, not a question, I'm going to tell you, you are still good enough to mix it at the very top. We'll see you racing next year?
Not only next year, we'll race forever.
I like that. I like it. Okay, Dennis, always very emotional. Scott Campbell, Dennis Kroes, any questions from the floor, anyone? Graham Smith.
Scott, Dennis came very close to passing you on the last lap. What did you have to do to keep him behind?
Yeah.
Actually coming into the back section, I had missed a shift, and I knew that Dennis would be right there on my heels. So I knew that I needed to defend that line on the inside, because he had passed me there a couple times this weekend already. So I just needed to make sure that I got down on the inside before he did, and just hold it and get out of the corner and get to the finish line.
Any more questions from the floor? We can take them before we invite the guys to leave. Well, once again, it's a shame we don't have Martin Victorson with us from Sweden, because he was worth his place on the podium in some tremendous driving, but either of these guys were good enough to be this year's world champion. Dennis Kroes really couldn't have done any more to make it to the top step, but the one guy that did have that little extra jump on him, well done, world champion Scott Campbell.